Hi, this is Francois, and usually I talk about technology, Microsoft, Google. I can talk about lots of software. So I'm going to change a little bit. Today we're going to talk about analytics. It is still technology, obviously, but it's something to do with digital marketing, really, and why we should care as business owner, as blog writer, as just an owner of a website. Why it's important to have a look at analytics. So, very transparently, I'm going to show you the analytics of this site called 365 Coach. So my site actually looks like this. Let's see. It's a site that my customer can use so that they hire me or my colleagues for just a few hours or like a coaching session on Microsoft, on lots of technologies, or maybe a training, so like few hours of training, etc. Great, but what we need to know is what are they doing on this website? Do they spend time on services on this page, on training? So maybe there's an interest in webinar, there's an interest on training, or do they just want to go into about me because they really want to find out what is the company about? How do we care about the services that we give, etc. So we're going to find out in analytics. Analytics is there so that it's going to accumulate data all the time, every seconds. Data from the website is going to be written inside Google Analytics, but it could be whatever analytics that you use. It doesn't have to be Google. And this data will be useful because it keeps it and then it builds reports for us. So we don't even have to build the reports. So example, here I'm in the home page of my analytics for this website, and as you can see, I called it GA4 because Google Analytics is moving away from UA, which used to be Universal Analytics. Now we're going into the latest version, and it's using events, it's using an event trigger instead of what we had before, which was every visit we would send an action there. So now every action, every event that happens in the page is going to be saved. So you can capture much more what your user, your visitor is doing. Okay, homepage, it's interesting, but it can, as long as you know exactly what you're looking at. So look at this. I have less users than the last period, but it's because my duration here is set for 7 days. So let's compare to, I don't know, 90 days, so we can see what's going on. All right, so we actually have a lot more visits over the past 90 days. So that's good, but it's just a glimpse. Yeah, we're just going to look at this card as a glimpse. Now we want to go a bit more in the detail in report, because I want to find out how people came to this website. So 4 attributes on the left hand side are really useful. Acquisition, engagement, monetization, and then retention. Why do we have all this? It's because it's a funnel. It's a marketing funnel. So first you start by acquiring customers or visitors, because they are not paying yet, they are just visitors. Then they're going to get really engaged with your brand, and they're going to be like, wow, I really like this blog, I really like this page, or I like the attitude and the values and the purpose of this company. And then finally, you need to go into monetization. Let's try to sell something, maybe sell a ebook instead of just a course straight away. And once you sold, well, don't go away. You need to also keep your customer. So that's called retention. So we go down the funnel, and that's the best way of understanding what stage you are, your customer or your user is within this funnel. So let's have a look. Acquisition. Overview, let's look at my users overview. So it means really how many visitors we had. Again, always look at the period. So I'm going to say 30 days. Let's increase to 90. But you can see at the bottom, I could also compare. So I could compare to a year ago. Well, let's do that. Compare to preceding period. So it's 2021 December. So this is comparing to a quarter before. Instead, I'm going to say to last year. So we're comparing 20 December to now. and comparing to December 2020 to the same date last year. Click apply. Here we go. Up. Now it's going to give me the full. All right. So you can see, for instance, that in average we had 242, a big down around January because people are allowed to take holiday, right? And then it went up again. So we're going to see now, where do they come from? So scroll down, I can see there are new users, and most of them is organic search. So organic search means we can call it SEO every now and then as well, because it's the search engine optimization. So they come from organic. People are just typing on their keyboard, they are searching on Google, on Bing, etc. All the search engine. We call it as SEO because the point of this would be like, okay, let's try to improve that. So people, and my site is going to be quite fast. Some of them come directly, so they actually literally type the website directly. And then we have referrals. So referral could be affiliated website. It could be some chamber of commerce that have our website. It could be some conferences that we've been to, and some Microsoft partnership that we have. So then it refers back to this website. Right. We could also set up things like lifetime value and all that, because if we configure our analytics, we can decide and say, well, actually the lifetime value of a customer is that much. Think of it as a bank. For a bank, it's extremely costly to acquire a new customer. So when they have a lifetime value, they try to keep this customer for long. Okay, let's go into, I'm going to go into, traffic acquisition. So, user by session, default channel. So our channel, again, you can see the organic, direct, referral, and we can see, interestingly, there was a lot more direct in a specific date. And when you scroll down, you always see the values. So, no users last year doesn't mean that the site was actually not yet live, which is very likely because every now and then we change and we redirect sites. I'm going to go to the engagement and have a look what they are doing on pages. So pages and screens. So it's which pages are the most popular on the website. So you can see, for instance, 5 features that you should not miss. Informs is very popular. So they are usually, these ones are blogs, I can see. And then always look at the dates, because remember that we are comparing for now. We're comparing different dates. So we can compare the same page compared to a previous period. Of course, this one has 0 because the blog itself didn't exist anyway, this article. And then you will go down and see if people are actually doing actions. In our website, we don't actually do the selling directly there. It's done in a different site, which is embedded, so we won't be able to look at this attribute. But generally, what I really wanted to show here is just report and see how useful it can be to own your data. Let's see now. We have, we're not doing comparison anymore, so let's remove our comparison. Here we go. So in the past 90 days, we have a number of users. It's still loading, so let's see the number here. How many visitors we had? Come on. Here we go. So we had around 3,100 visitors. So this number is the one that Google Analytics has collected. Apparently they're all new users, so that's something that I'm going to speak to our person who does the marketing, because we could improve that. It means that yes, we have new users, but it would be nice if we have returning visitors as well, returning users. So this number is done by Google Analytics, right? So let's remember, 3,100 from the past 90 days. But if we are using a different system, it's good to know that sometimes the data may be slightly off, slightly different. So here in this tab, I'm into analytics, but of the SquareSpace, because this website is hosted on SquareSpace, which I really recommend, by the way, because it's so easy to create your pages. So we are in analytics. I can see traffic. Of course, the period is not correct. It's not the same. So we're going to put 90 days as well. So let's do custom, and then we're going to, let's have a look again, the date 25th December to 24. Okay, 25th to March 24, so yesterday. And do I have, no, I don't have to validate here. So 3,500, so a little bit more, and then it tells me I have a lot more percentage visit this in this period. But Google Analytics was telling us something else. It was 3,100. So what we have to understand is that the data that arrives, the visitors that arrive into this site, may this SquareSpace may just filter a little bit more, whereas in Google Analytics I didn't do the work of going there and saying like, oh, I want to filter the IP address where my colleagues, the digital marketing, everybody, the developer is going to access the site. SquareSpace has different ways of doing the data. As you can see here, oh, it used to be black and white. Now they are bringing some colors. So here we can see that the majority is coming from desktop, and then only a small percent, 15%, which is still good enough, in mobile, and then tablet. Then you'll see what operating system you have. You have the same in Google Analytics. Let's have a look here. You can see that under the full list of reports, we have user. So it's all about the user. Who are they? And we have tech overview. Let's have a look here, and we are going to find out the platform. So they are all accessing majority from Windows, then Mac, and if it's desktop again, majority, and mobile. So the numbers are still relevant and comparable between the actual host, Squarespace, and Google Analytics. So 2,600, and here it was telling me 2,400. So you can see that within a few hundreds, a few dozens almost, there's a difference, but what is important is the percentage, is to know that we have more people on this or that. So what's the point as a business owner? Well, we could decide that if there is more people on Windows, there's a few people on Mac, then my site better be optimized. Maybe I'm creating an app as well. The app better be optimized for a certain mobile, right? So we take decision like this. I can see that, well, there's tiny bit more iOS. So I think it's very much 50-50 because Europe is like this. We use both. But as I said, yeah, your site needs to make sure that it's mobile compatible, that it's with this browser, etc. Other things interesting is demographic, of course, because Google owning Google Analytics, they will allow us to find out a lot. So obviously the region, because we are using browser, and on our browser we either have cookies, but we also have IP address, the IP address of our ISP, our provider. So you can see where they are coming from, which is quite cool. Exactly which city. And then you may have information like this, but this, depending on the country, is not going to be available, to be very clear, because we are going to have some privacy law, and some computers will just not let the information pass. Okay, so that was a quick overview on analytics, but not especially the tool, but more about why do we care about analytics. So it's all about owning your data and understanding them. So again, this is Francois, and I hope you like this little different topic today. I will start doing more, like not just the application, even though it's a website really. And stay tuned, send me your feedback and your likes. Bye!